Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good late night, good whatever time it is you decide to watch this video. And I'm thankful that you are here to watch this video. So the last video I talked about having self-respect and how self-respect is an umbrella for a bunch of different things. Like self-respect is going to cover self-love, self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, self-value, happiness. Like if you have this, you're going to have self-respect, right? But part of unpacking, like getting to all of those is you have to acknowledge your past. You have to acknowledge if you've been wrong, done wrong. You have to acknowledge your past trauma, your past mistakes, your past in general, right? Like there's gonna be good moments from the past, and there's gonna be bad moments from the past, good stories from the past and bad stories from the past, right? So you have to learn how to acknowledge that and react to it and figure out a way to resolve it, right? And that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna unpack that. I'm gonna ask you a few questions. And the first question I'm going to ask you, I hope everybody has the same answer, because if you're going to tell me the different answer, I'm going to think you're a fucking liar. And I'm not. Now remember, I'm not a professional or anything. I'm a real man, and I'm talking to real people. I'm not getting paid to do this. I'm on my own journey of doing this shit. So I'm doing this as I'm talking about it, and I'm doing this as I'm trying to help people do it as well. So I'm just a dude who got lucky enough to figure out a way to talk to people, to keep it real with them, be compassionate, understanding, but also be accountable with them, you know? So I'm gonna ask you this question. Like I said, I hope the answer for everybody is no. Okay, are you ready? Have you lived a perfect life? God, I hope you all said no. I hope we all said no, because I know I haven't. I know I live far from a perfect life. You hear what I'm saying? Perfect life doesn't fit in my whole life story. But what it has done is allowed me to become a person, allowed me to become my own individual person. The good with the bad, the highs with the lows, the peaks and the valleys, right? So because I know I haven't lived a perfect life, I know that there's been wrongs that I've committed in my life as I was growing up. I know that people have done me wrong in my life as I was growing up. I know that there's good and then there's bad, and I could probably count on both my hands how many good things I've done in my life, and it would take probably the entire state of Nevada, but it's going to take the entire state of Nevada, all of our fingers to combine to count all the bad things I've done in my life. I'm being real with you, being transparent. I fucked up, right? I fucked up big times. Huge. I fucked up. But there's also things that I've done in my life that have been done to me that wasn't my fault. I didn't ask for it. I didn't do anything to get it done to me, right? I think by the time I hit 30, there were some things that I knew that I was in the wrong for, and I reached out to people, and I've attempted to resolve my issues in the past with people that I've done wrong to. I've also attempted to get either explanations or reasons or closure, at the very minimum, closure of the people who have done wrong to me as I was growing up and doing my life journey, right? Sometimes it doesn't always happen. Sometimes you don't get it. Sometimes it's just not gonna happen, but that's okay. It is okay. If people don't want to forgive you or you don't want to forgive them, it's perfectly fine. Just remember that. We're gonna unpack that a little bit more later. But I do want to ask you guys, I do want to ask everybody in this room, like everybody watching this video, have you been a perfect person? No. We already know that answer, right? Have you done wrong in your life? Have you done anything wrong to anybody at any point in your life? My answer is yes. What's your answer? Have you done or said anything that could be taken negatively out of context and very, very wrongly to upset somebody, and you didn't try to explain what you meant, or try to word it differently to where somebody could understand you, or didn't allow them to ask questions for clarification? Have you done that? Has somebody asked you a question and you attacked them because they asked you a question? That you did wrong. You can't re-ask your question to somebody who doesn't understand your question and you attack them for it. You did wrong. And there's little ones and then there's big ones, and and that's a little wrong, but it's still a wrong. So what I'm trying to get at is, if you've done wrong to somebody, what have you done to make it right? If you've done wrong to somebody, what have you done for that person to try to make it right? See, for me, a lot of the people that I've done wrong, they moved out of the city I was born in. They moved out of the city I was living in. I've also moved out of the city that I was born in and also the city that I lived in. You know, I'm a Vegas baby, dude. Like, I was born and raised in Vegas, and I've only been out of Vegas for 3 years. But it doesn't matter, because you know what? The technology that we have in this world, the internet, the social media platforms that we have in this world, is virtually impossible to be connected to anything and not be found by anyone. If you're not computer savvy like I am, and you've done what you can do to find the individual people that you have done wrong in your life, you can't find them and you don't know what to do about it, try asking people that may know that person. Hey, do you know how to get a hold of so-and-so? Or hey, if you know how to get a hold of so-and-so, can you give him my number? I need to talk to him. And it's not a rush. Just know that there's some stuff that I need to say to this particular person that has been weighing in on my mind, and I didn't realize it was on my mind until it hit me, you know, and that's perfectly fine. So like the first step to moving forward is acknowledging your past. You have to let go of the past. And I always say, forgive and move forward. I don't ever tell nobody to forgive and forget. Don't ever forget, because if you forget the shit you done wrong, you are bound to repeat the shit that you done wrong. If you forgive and move forward, it means you've grown. It means you've taken the experiences from your past and able to apply them to today to make you a better person. And that's what we want to be. We all want to be better people. I hope we want to be better people for ourselves. And if we're better people for ourselves, then the world will reap those benefits. At the very minimum, you should be doing it for yourself because it's what you want to do. It has to be what you want to do. I'm not going to force you to do anything. I'm not going to beg you to do anything. I am just going to force you to be accountable. But everything else is I'm going to guide you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to talk to you about it, right? And I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. I'm gonna give it to you real raw and uncensored, unfiltered. You have to reach out. That's your first step. For your first step, not reach out. Your first step is acknowledging, realizing what you did, right? And there's also a flip side of this coin. Acknowledging and realizing what somebody did to you that you've been holding on to for a long time and you can't figure out why. It's a double-sided coin, right? It's a double-edged sword, because it's either you did the wrong or you were the wrong. And it's perfectly fine, because like both sides of this coin will fit into the same coin slot, right? So you have to acknowledge the wrongs of your past, whether you were the wrongdoer or you're the one who get wrong. The second part is attempt to reach out to those people. Attempt. That's your second step, is you have to attempt to reach out to those people, to acknowledge it, to talk about it, to see if you can come with some form of resolution. I'll tell you right now, there's going to be some people who don't want to talk to you. There's going to be some people that's going to hear you and not forgive you, or not accept your forgiveness, or not accept your apology. There's going to be some people out there that's going to be, fuck man, that was 20 years ago. That's still on your head? That's still in your mind? Like, shit, my bad. You know, there's just some people that are gonna break down and fucking cry and explain to you, like, I'm sorry, I was a way different person back then. That's not who I am now. Let me take you out for some drinks. Let's go get some coffee and just talk it out. Let's go get some coffee. Let's go to the bar and shoot some pool and have a couple drinks and figure out a way if we can move forward in this life. You know, there's so many possibilities to just reaching out to somebody that a lot of us get in our head like they probably don't want to hear from you, or they probably don't remember. I guarantee you, if you were the one who was doing the wrong and it's on your brain as much, then the person who you did the wrong to, it's on their brain nearly as much. And maybe in the back of their mind, they may have it there and something may trigger it, but it's still there because it's unresolved issues, it's unresolved conflicts. And a lot of us are carrying around that baggage for no fucking reason. There's no reason to be carrying around unresolved conflicts from when we were kids. There's no fucking reason for it, okay? I always tell people, like, I have a few phrases that I've come up with on this journey of mine, my own personal journey, and I'll read them to you shortly. I'll unpack a couple of them, right? A couple of them are more personal, more into me, more one-on-one to me, and there's a couple that are broad and that could be expanded to everybody. And some of the ones that are personal to me might actually apply to you, but we're not going to dive into that, right? So the first step is acknowledging. Second step is bare minimum reaching out. reaching out to talk. You could talk over the phone, you could meet up in person, you could actually accidentally run into them in like the grocery store at Walmart or some shit and be like, hey man, if you got a minute, I would like to talk to you. And if they say not right now, let me get your number and we'll set something up, or go fuck off. It's one of those two. It's either going to be a yes or a no, right? Rejection's part of life. And if they don't want to if they don't want to hear you and they want to reject you, you know what you can say? Here's my number. When you want to reach out to me, here you go. I would really love to sit and talk to you one day about our story together. Make it sound semi-personal, but make it sound kind of like mysterious for the people around to be like, let their minds wander. Fuck what those people are thinking, right? It's between you and the people that were in the wrong or doing the wrong in your life. That's all that matters at that moment, right? As you reach out, you try to set up communication. Now, step three is if you do get a chance to talk to somebody, lead with an apology. Just look them dead in the eyes and be like, you know what? I was a dick to you in high school, or I shouldn't have said that about you at the party, or whatever the fuck it was, right? Reach out to them, look them dead in the eye and apologize. Like, I'm sorry that I treated you that way, or I'm sorry that I did that to you, or I'm sorry that I said this, or I'm sorry that I took your girlfriend, or I'm sorry. It doesn't matter what the fucking reason was. The I'm sorry has to be the most important two words you say in that whole phrase. Because if you don't sound sincere and you don't thoroughly mean it, then that person's gonna catch up on it, and they're gonna think you're just trying to bullshit your way for karma. You don't want to bullshit your way for karma. You want karma to do its real job. And if you're able to avoid a karma fucking reality check by reaching out to the people before something happens to you over that karma, if you believe in that, then do it. Reach out to them and apologize. Sincerely apologize. Mean it with reason. Mean it with empathy. Mean it with fucking sincerity, right? Because that's at the end of the day, that's what's gonna win. You can put any string of words together to make it sound good, but if you're not sincere and authentic with your apology, it doesn't mean shit, all right? And if a person who did you wrong in your past reaches out to you, be open about the conversation. If it's been 15 years or more, don't be fucking bitter. Unless something really tragic happened, don't be fucking bitter. Don't be petty about it. Be open to hearing that conversation. A lot of us get fucking put our walls up and then we get petty about it. If somebody's reaching out from your past to apologize to you about wrongdoings and shit, be open to that conversation. It's the least I can tell you is be open to that conversation. And it's an uncomfortable conversation to have. Whether you're the one who starts it or whether you're the one who's in it. Whether you're the victim or you're the fucking suspect, it's still an uncomfortable conversation to have either way, man. Because now you're about to stir up some shit that's been buried for so long. You know what I mean? But it has to get done because like your first couple, you're not going to feel the weight lifted off your shoulders. You're not going to feel the lightness in your head. You're not going to feel the able to breathe better. The first couple is it's gonna be kind of like a deterrent. You're like, it's not really working. Like, I don't know what this guy's talking about. But you're gonna remember the people the most that you mess with. You're gonna remember the people the most that you screw with, right? But you're gonna find as you're doing this journey, you're gonna find the one person that's really weighing in on your fucking mind that you forgot about, that you completely, or you thought it wasn't no big deal, but you're like, man, I haven't talked to that person in 20 years. And it all happened like I haven't talked to him since that one night. Well, what shit, and you're gonna wonder, like, you probably wondered why in the beginning, but then you completely forgot about it. Man, fuck that person, right? You're gonna finally reach a certain amount of people of forgiveness, or forgiveness, but reaching out and talking to you. You're gonna reach a certain amount of people. I can't tell you what that number is for you. Or you're gonna reach that one person that you didn't realize was gonna have that much of an impact on you, and you're gonna be able to you're gonna feel the weight lift off your shoulders. You're gonna feel the fogginess of your brain clear up a little bit or a lot. You're gonna feel the weight on your chest ain't so heavy no more. You're gonna feel like you're gonna start feeling the pleasantries of life. You're gonna start seeing the world for the beauty that the world is. You're gonna start seeing yourself as a beautiful person. Forgiveness is a huge, powerful, impactful fucking tool that we have as human beings. I'm sorry's are played out like a motherfucker until you get that one I'm sorry, that means it, you know? Like, my bads are played out. But when a certain somebody says, I'm sorry, and they thoroughly mean it for something, you could be the same person that you've been with for 10 years. And you've been hearing, I'm sorry for 10 years, and it doesn't mean shit no more. But they're gonna finally come at you, and they're gonna finally speak to you. They're gonna touch your heartstrings a little bit, and they're gonna say, I'm sorry for a lot of shit. And you're gonna finally believe them. You're gonna finally accept that apology and store it. You're not gonna accept it and discard it. You're gonna accept it and store it. And that's what I'm shooting for now. Like, my wife accepts my apologies, but she takes them with a grain of salt. So I've been apologizing for 10 years to this woman and kept doing the same shit over and over again. I'm sorry I did this, but I'm gonna do it again. It's not an apology, it's a heads up. What's next? Oh, we're still on forgiveness. Now, there's a flip side to forgiveness. There is. So when you reach out to somebody for forgiveness, you're either going to get forgiven or you're not going to get forgiven. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, right? If you get forgiven, it's all great, right? There's a flow chart, right? You ask for forgiveness, you explain your story, you explain what's going on, you explain how sorry you are, and you just hope that they forgive you, right? And they do forgive you. One of three things are going to happen. One, you're going to get a new friend. You're going to get a new old friend, right? You're going to get somebody that you've known from the past that you weren't friends with, that you're now friends with. And that's fucking golden, right? That you are able to rekindle a friendship or an acquaintanceship from back in the day that you could share stories with about how things were when you were in school, at your school, or whatever, right? Whatever that situation is. They'll forgive you, but they don't want to remain in contact with you, but they wish you nothing but the best. Be like, you know what? I accept your apology. I am so happy that you reached out, that we were able to resolve this. I don't see us being friends because we've grown in two different separate lives, and I don't think our lifestyles would match. But I don't want nothing ill of you, and I wish you nothing but the best. And I'm so thankful that you reached out to me. That, you know, that's the second scenario. Or the third scenario is, I accept your forgiveness, but leave me the fuck alone. And that's perfectly fine. Any one of those threes are perfectly fine. We always want the first or the second option, but the third one is always going to be there as well. And we have to accept that that's their decision. You did what you're supposed to do. You got your forgiveness, and they don't want nothing to do with you. That's perfectly fine too. Just know that you did the right thing, because doing the right thing is always more important than doing the wrong thing any day. Doing the right thing for the right reasons is always better than doing the wrong thing for the right reasons, or the wrong thing for the wrong reasons. Whatever. I haven't had on my coffee yet. Yeah, doing the right things for the right reasons is always better than doing the right things for the wrong reasons, because you're not doing it with pure intention and pure from your heart, purity from your heart. You know, you're doing it for malicious intent, and that's gonna backfire. Now, if you get the forgiveness and you get a new friend out of the deal, or you get the forgiveness and you get blessings for your future and nothing but good luck for your future, it's a win. And if you get forgiveness, but that person doesn't want nothing to do with you ever again, it's still a win, because you got your forgiveness, right? You know, you may have to figure out more in-depth shit on what you did to that person, but they forgave you, and that's huge. Forgiveness is huge in a world that's unforgiving. You know that, right? Now let's look at the other side of that forgiveness coin. You reach out to so-and-so, they communicate back with you, but hey, I would like to talk to you about the shit from the past, right? You go through it, you do your forgiveness. You know, you ask for forgiveness, and they're like, I can't forgive you for what you did. What you did was so horrible that I just can't forgive you. Now, that's an open-ended statement, believe it or not. It's open-ended because they just said, I can't forgive you. They didn't say forever. They didn't say yet. They didn't say right now. They just said, I can't forgive you. So leave with the silver lining in that cloud. I can't forgive you, and just put yet at the end. Yet. Or right now. Put those two options at the end. Like, yeah, I accept your apology, but I can't forgive you. And in the back of your mind, say yet. Or say, not right now. Just can't forgive you right now. But you did what you're supposed to do. You reached out, you asked for forgiveness, and you explained yourself sincerely and authentically, right? And they just can't forgive you. I don't know what you did wrong for somebody not to forgive you from something that happened 15 plus years ago, but it's part of life, right? So what do you do now? What do you do now, right? What do you do now? I'll tell you what you do now. You forgive yourself. Because if you're able to acknowledge that you did something wrong in your mind, you're able to find the person that you did do wrong to, and you did the hardest step in reaching out to that person and apologizing to that person, and they can't forgive you. You need to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself in order to fucking release that baggage off of your brain. Clear that fog out of your mind. Get that weight off your shoulders and that elephant off your chest. You have to forgive yourself. We're not fucking perfect human beings. Nobody on this earth is perfect. In 2023, nobody is close to being perfect. But that doesn't mean we can't strive for perfection. That doesn't mean we can't shoot for the stars. So forgive yourself, because you're doing it out of sincerity and you're doing it out of authenticity. That you were seriously sorry for whatever you did to that person, that they just can't forgive you. Forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself, because if it happened when we were kids, we were fucking kids. We didn't know better. And now that we do know better and we reached out and we try to get our forgiveness and it wasn't gifted by that other person, gift it for yourself. And I say gift it for yourself because you did what you were supposed to do. You recognized you're wrong. You reached out to the person who you did wrong to, and you asked for forgiveness, and it didn't work. So forgive yourself for it, okay? It's that simple. The wrongs, the wrongdoing. And if you were somebody who was a victim of somebody doing wrong, and it's weighing on your mind so bad that it's just unresolved conflict, unresolved trauma, unresolved issue, then you need to be the one who reaches out. Reach out. And if they don't want to talk to you, they don't want to ask for forgiveness and any of that shit, forgive yourself still. You have to forgive yourself, no matter what. If somebody won't forgive you, then forgive yourself, because it was in the past. No matter what happened, forgive yourself. Just do it. Like Nike said, just do it. Just forgive yourself and keep forgiving yourself for wrongdoings and fuck ups, because we're human. We're gonna make mistakes, all right? Let's talk about now. Let's talk about now, though. Let's talk about 5 years up to present, right? Have you done shit that you lied your way out of? Are you taking accountability for the shit that you doing now? Or are you taking accountability for the shit you did in the past? That's what it's really about, is taking accountability for your bullshit. If you're not taking accountability for yourself, nobody's going to take you seriously. And I don't mean a sugarcoat accountability. I don't. I mean a thorough, fully from the heart, say it with your chest status fucking accountability. Whether it be something small or whether it be something huge. Take accountability for yourself, for your actions, for your words, for everything that you do. Whether you had a say in what really happened or not, but you were there, take accountability for what happens. That has to do with you. You are responsible for yourself. There's people like me that I've met along the way in my life that helped me acknowledge my accountability. Like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have done that, or you probably shouldn't have said that. You probably shouldn't, whatever, right? But like, you should really go apologize. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything wrong. And they help me. They help me see it clearer. Well, they help me see it from a different perspective, because my perspective's so fucking cloudy with judgment, right? It's a biased judgment, right? And you need those people in your life. And I'm one of them. I need one, and I have them, but I'm also one of them, and I can provide it at the same time, right? Take accountability and take responsibility for your life, because only you are in control of your life. You are in control of your life. Who's the captain of your shit? You or somebody else? It better be you. From here on forward, it better be you who takes accountability and takes responsibility for your life, your actions, your decisions, your everything. Because that's who we are. That's what makes a man a man. That's what makes a woman a woman. It's being accountable and responsible for their own shit. If you want to pass the judgment off to somebody else, you want to pass the blame off to somebody else, or you want to pass the responsibility off to somebody else, then you're not growing. You're staying. You're plateauing. So I have a phrase that I say, right? And it has to do with knowledge and learning. You could have all the knowledge in the world. You can learn everything you can. But if you can't apply that knowledge to everyday life, and you can't teach it responsibility, if you can't teach it responsibly, then you're no good to anybody on this planet. You're no good to yourself. If you're not always trying to learn to be a better person, you're not always trying to learn to be a better worker, better husband, better father, better partner, better teammate, better this, better that, then what are you doing? You're plateauing. You're becoming stagnant. You're becoming boring. We'll use it like this. We're about to dive into my trade skills, right? This is a light. It's a ring light, okay? Knowledge is power, right? I'm gonna try and do this without fucking dropping it or anything like that. Okay, right here. This ring light, now that it's turned off, it still has all the power in the world going to it, right? But right now it's turned off. It's not giving me any value. It's not being used for what it's designed for. Now it is. Now I'm using that light so you can see me better, right? That's the same way with knowledge. Knowledge is all the power in the world. But if you don't know how to use it right, it's just taking up space. Can't remember the actual metaphor I used. It was like a month ago. But you gotta have the device. Okay, do I have one just laying around here? Gotta have the power supply, and you gotta have a place to plug it in. I'm blind right now, so I'm trying to figure this out. Oh shit, did it, okay? Then you gotta have the understanding of how it works to make it work, and boom, like that it works, right? Same thing with knowledge. You can learn anything you want. You can learn everything you want to learn, but if you don't know how to apply it, you don't know how to fucking use it, then you just have a bunch of useless information. And that's what I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to help you learn. Let's get to the next step. Let's get to the next step. Let's get to the next step. Oh, you had a bad day? Then let's stay on that step. Let's not fall backwards. Let's just stay there. And then tomorrow we can have a next step, better day, right? That's what we're shooting for. Always be learning and always be willing to learn. Always be learning and always be willing to teach somebody. That's what I'm trying to get at with that one. You know what I mean? Like, learning is growing. Learning is growing. If you're not constantly learning, then you're not constantly growing. And that's what I'm trying to preach. That's what I'm trying to teach. That's what I'm trying to help you with. If you learn about yourself, more power to you. If you learn about the world, more power to you. If you learn about yourself and you're able to make yourself a better person, now you're growing. If you learn about the world and you can do something, if you're learning about the world and you're able to do something in this world to make it a better world, then you're growing. I don't care if it's volunteering at the homeless shelter. I don't care if it's picking up trash at the side of the street. I don't care if it's anything like that. You're making the world a better place. Just by a small contribution, you're making the world a better place. And you might be one of those people that go out there on the side of the street and start cleaning up the highway, right? You might inspire somebody else to pull over. Hey, what you doing? Oh, I'm just picking up trash for 20 minutes. You got another bag? Let me go get you one. I even got another stick that you can poke with. That way you're not bending over, because that's, work smarter, not harder, right? But it's there. There's always opportunities to grow. There's always opportunities to elevate yourself, elevate your mind, elevate your spirit, elevate you as a person. And I'm going to tell you right now, it can get uncomfortable. It's going to get very, very discouraging for a while, but we don't quit. We do not quit. No fucking way we are gonna quit. You wanna know why? Because quitters don't win. Quitters don't win. And I don't wanna see anybody quit. I wanna see everybody fucking achieve happiness and achieve respect and achieve your self-esteem and achieve a positive self-worth and all that. That's what I'm trying to do. This is gonna get a little personal, but I've been on TikTok for over a year, and for better part of a year, I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't finding the right people to elevate me. Because if they're elevating me, then I'm elevating them, right? And I wasn't finding those people. And I recently found a few good people on TikTok to really elevate who I am as a person, while I'm elevating them as a person, as people, And that's what these videos are stemming from, is from those gentlemen on TikTok. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 4. There's 4 men on TikTok that I am so proud to know as friends, as brothers. Because without those 4 men, I probably wouldn't be nearly as far in my journey as I am now. Like, I did a lot of work for myself. I set my foundation, but these are the ones that came by my foundation, inspected it, and found the faults in my foundation, and they helped me correct it. I'll go 5. One guy, he's just brutally honest with you, and he's kind of a smartass, and that's why I relate to him a lot. But he's one of them too, He's a dude that will help you if you ask for it. He's one of those dudes that will help you become a better person. And all these men that I found, they are all fucking uplifting people. And 4 of them, they just want the world to be a better place. And I could get behind that 1,000,000%. So I'm gonna leave you guys with a few things. My buddy always says, hey, do small victories. Set yourself up with small victories throughout the day, and you'll always be a winner. And that's so beautiful. So beautiful. Like my small victories every day are listening to motivational speeches, talking to you guys, and doing research on how to become a better person. And if I could reach one person through these videos, then that's golden. If I could reach more than one person, it's platinum. This world's so ugly that we need beautiful, and beautiful comes in the shape of a 5'10", 295-pound man from the middle of nowhere, Nevada. That's me, Big Street. I did tell you I was going to read a couple of these quotes, so let's go ahead and we'll read those real quick, and then we'll end it. All right, here it is. Okay, listen really closely what I'm about to tell you. You're stronger than the hold your past trauma has on you. Your past is a part of who you are today, not who you are as a whole. And that literally came from the phrase, forgive and move forward, because that helped create who you are today. That past helped create who you are today. And now it's time to tackle that past. Forgive it and move forward, because you've been in an endless cycle since then, right? All right. Here's another one that I wrote. You're allowed to make mistakes. It's how you move forward from those mistakes that shows what type of person you are and shows your true character. And those showings allows people to correctly judge you for your character and not for your mistakes. I'm not even going to unpack that. Remember this. Remember, nobody on this earth is perfect. And through our imperfections is how we shine to the world. It's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to make that your identity. And with that, I'm Big Street. I love y'all. Have a beautiful day. Peace.